Good morning, everyone. Welcome to FraudCon 2025. As we're settling in, thank you. As we're settling in, I'll start with some quick intros so that we remain on time. And I am not sure if we even need opening words for this day. This community of fraud fighters collaborates very closely throughout the year with meetups and discussions and some very cool joint research ventures. And that gives me the feeling that we can skip some of the intros and go directly to the thank yous. So first of all, thank you for being here this morning miraculously, and thank you for being here for each other as a community of professionals all year long. Thank you for hosting us, the Tel Aviv University, for hosting Cyber Week and AI Week and Defense Tech Week. And besides, Ravid, Aviva, Gili's team at the Blavatnik Interdisciplinary Center is amazing in putting together an incredible repertoire of learning opportunities and speaking opportunities. It is almost impossible to make the choice of which event to attend. And with that, I'm going back to the special thank you to all our community members who find the time to make the choice of participating in this event every year and in the many meetups that are hosted by Oren Karmi and myself for fraud fighters in Tel Aviv. You can find the QR codes up there. This is also a year where making the right choice has been significant, a theme that we all felt, and we will hear about this theme in many of the talks today. AI is spreading faster than the common cold, and it empowers us as fraud fighting professionals to go way faster than ever before in building new products, in implementing very cool new technology, but it also tempts us to possibly choose easy wins and glitter and pretty formats over actual deep value and protection for the parts of our community that are finding this new era challenging. And that can be all of us, depending on the context. So some of the examples that we'll be seeing today bring up questions of quality and safety and responsible and ethical use of AI. And we all know that fraudsters, the bad guys, don't care about quality or safety or responsible or ethical use of AI, which means they get to go faster. So it's up to us to share these examples, to collaborate. We will see some examples on the good side and on the bad side of AI use. And hopefully, by the end of the day, the collaboration sparked on stage and beyond will help us as a community keep going and creating a safer digital ecosystem for us all. To get started, to get in the mood, let's just play a quick game of Catch the Fraudster. This is an intellectual warm-up, so it's nothing formal. I'll just show two quick examples, and I'd love for you to shout out, if you want, or point out signals, clues that are a giveaway for the fact that the piece of information that I might encounter online is obviously a lie created by AI. Here is a post that was released, published less than 24 hours ago, and it celebrates an alleged performance by some legendary musicians. If you don't know any of these, come find me afterwards and we'll have a chat. And well, we can see based on the comments that some people are already calling BS and saying that's not a real thing, not a real gig. But can anyone spot anything that is like classical giveaway? I see errors, I see people shouting out 6 fingers. Who is the lucky musician that got 6 fingers? Amazing. So yeah, you could tell me that Eric Clapton has 6 fingers, and based on his performance, I would say, okay, that works, that checks out. But obviously, that's not true, right? And this particular example is part of a series of hundreds of cases that have been surfacing surfaced in the web over the last 6-7 months. I did not mean to say the 6-7. And millions of people actually get fooled by this worldwide, millions of heartbroken fans. I have time for one more slide before we keep going. So the next example, quick warning, is going to be a compilation of these heartbreaking, tragic news, and it's important to say that no one actually passed away, everyone is alive and well. So here is a post that claims that Jodie Foster has passed away. Knock on wood, not true. And you might notice this was posted on a social group of her fans, so they get very emotional, and I had to remove a lot of bad language that was used by people responding to this post. But it is sending people to this website over here. Some of you might actually also already see clues that this is a little shady. And if I click the website and I click the link and go visit the website, I will find that this is kind of a warehouse of tragic news, a compilation of bad news. And yeah, anyone wants to point out anything that lets us know that this is an obvious lie? You would actually need to read a little bit for this, so it's like nice, yeah. So casing looks kind of sloppy. What else looks sloppy in the text or in anywhere else? This is another example. This is the... Yes, and what did the LLM reply, by the way? So the LLM, and this is the way that the article got published on the website. So if you go and read, yeah, go ahead. Awesome. So the answer, I'll repeat the answer. What's your name? Netta was saying, thank you. Netta was saying that if you actually read beyond the headline, you will see that the text starts with, I'm sorry to hear about the loss you're referring to, but as of my last update, Jodie Foster is alive. Yay! And if you're speaking metaphorically, offensive, that's just mean, or not true, or reflecting on her career in some way, or if there's some news I'm not aware of, please let me know. The person who published this article never bothered to read the reply that they got from the prompt that they entered by saying, write me an article about Jodie Foster being dead, or a random celebrity being dead. So it's surreal that this kind of clear slop is being published and receiving and amplified via social networks to get a good chunk of traffic. We see more examples on these websites, this group of websites. So here's another one where it says, the article just says, certainly, below is a news article based on the headline, sad news, and then some football people that I don't actually know, with images to suggest a car crash. This one claims that Led Zeppelin's lead singer had passed away, and then 2 days later, a miracle, apparently resurrection, because they RSVP'd yes to perform at King Charles's birthday. If that's not a Hanukkah miracle, I don't know what is. So looking at examples like this is getting me worried that AI in general, and in particular AI-powered fraud, is getting out of hand, which is why we're here at the end of the day. This is part of what motivates me to be part of this industry and to keep investing in bringing forward examples and case studies and opportunities for us to learn from each other's experience so that we can get ahead of this. We cannot lose to things that are just so embarrassing. And with that, again, thank you so much to speakers who made it across the Atlantic or the Mediterranean to be here. Thank you to people who made it across the Great Lakes of Tel Aviv this morning to be here. And it's always heartwarming to be part of this forum. Before we leave, before I move to our first speaker, I will mention that my co-author, Chen Zamir, has traveled over to visit Tel Aviv this week. And so at the end of this day, if people are interested, we are together with Shoshana Morani writing another book as a training resource to the community. It's been 5 years since the first one. We think it's about time. And we booked a room, but we might actually just stay closer to here so that we don't need to walk in the rain all the way over to that other building. And so if people are interested in bringing over case studies, topics that you would like to see in the community resource, then we're more than happy to listen and possibly schedule interviews later. There are 3 chapters of the book already made available by O'Reilly platform, so you can use the QR code if you want to sample and understand what we're talking about. And most importantly, since I did get some questions about what is this animal that was chosen to be featured on the cover, I have no idea why why O'Reilly choose animals for their covers. They don't tell you as an author. But I think it's magical because even I did not know that this pink fairy armadillo is a real thing. I did initially think that it was made by AI. It's the cutest thing ever. It is now my spirit animal, and it is not AI. It's for real. So let's keep this spirit of holiday miracles with us, and thank you again for just being part of this wonderful, magical collaboration.
Thank you. Besides welcoming everyone, I would like to say something which is relevant to your topic, main topic. I think it was in 2014 when we started those conferences. 2013 or 14, this is number 15 now, so 2014, we started these conferences. Same year, maybe you remember, in which a Malaysian aircraft was lost, one of the great mysteries in the history of passengers flight, was lost. No one knows exactly what happened, why. And once it was lost, the Malaysian company operating it started to look to investigate. Few months later, we found some debris near Africa. And we know that it took off and then turned south into the Indian Ocean and disappeared. Immediately after takeoff, the crew or someone in the crew cut off all the transmissions from the aircraft, and therefore we don't know exactly the trajectory. The most accurate details we have, and it was published in 2014, and you ask yourself why I'm telling you this story now. Wait a minute. The more updated data we had came from the engines of this aircraft. It turned out that there was an independent system attached to the engines, built by the producer of the engines. I think it was Pratt & Whitney, the Boeing 777, which tracked the physical state of the engines and transmitted directly, not through the aircraft system, directly to certain places on the ground, what is the state of those aircraft for, and if maybe they need some maintenance and what, how near they are to this maintenance point, etc., etc. And then I thought about it and I said, okay, a few months later, the same passenger Malaysian company lost another aircraft because they flew through over Ukraine, not the current war, but the previous one, and it was shot down. And the share of the Malaysian passenger company was cut almost to zero, the value of the share in the share market. So I thought about it. I published a small paper, and I said, okay, at that time, this was more than 10 years ago, at that time, algo trading became dominant. I mean, until that time, people usually bought and sold shares was done by human beings. But it became more and more automatic. Today, it's almost fully automatic. It's done by computers. You feed all the data inside, and the computers decide what to buy. Sometimes they only recommend. Many times they do it directly, what to buy and what to sell. The goal, of course, is to sell before the others or to buy before the others and to earn money. Now imagine yourself, one day, this is what I wrote, one day this computer will be intelligent enough. This was before the introduction of ChatGPT and AI and LLMs and everything that we are all talking about today. Intelligent enough. And more than this, all systems will be connected. And this algo trading may find the connection to the engines of this Boeing 777 and cut off the engines. Why should it cut off the engines? To cause a slight decrease at the cost, to the cost of the share. I mean, it was built there with an algorithm to maximize the value of the shares. If you know before all others that something terrible is going to happen, you can sell the share while they are still high and maybe buy them later on. And then I was aware that if we will have intelligent enough machines, which now we have, if we will connect enough all those machines to each other, including to things that we may not did